Welcome to Ready, Set, Real Estate, where we will help empower and educate you on many different aspects of real estate, finance, and investing. Each week, we will expand your knowledge and uncover hidden truths. We will break down real-world scenarios and study actual how-to strategies. Anyone can buy real estate, but together we'll ensure you make smart real estate investment decisions. Now, here's your host, award-winning author, international speaker, and real estate educator, Lisa Gillett.
Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I decided to come on and do a late night after hour with Super Agent. We're going to be talking about fraud. We're going to be talking about fraud. In truth, I wanted to stick to the schedule. Really, I really wanted to commit to making sure that we've got a show happening once a week. Wednesday, I had a pretty tight up schedule, which is normally when I schedule a time for the show. And I've got a tight up weekend. So I felt like, you know what? I finished work early today. Now's a good time. I can jump on and do a segment. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I appreciate you if you're catching me on the live. If you are joining me, if not, that's fine. It's a-okay because essentially you've got the podcasts on all your favorite platforms. You know, I just realized the other day that I'm on iHeartRadio. That I remember when I first started this, I was like trying to go direct to iHeartRadio. But now there's no need. There's no need. All these, the RSS feed, they just talk to each other. And I think that's a pretty cool thing. All right. So before I jump into all my talking here, let me make sure. Let me put that on vibrate. I might get a ping, a message or something of some sort. How are you? How are you all on this Friday evening? I trust you're well. I think I don't like what's happening here with May gray, and then we're going to go into June gloom. I'm like so ready for the sun to really come out and be out. Can we get that, please? That'd be wonderful. But not yet, unfortunately. It's not happening. Okay. Let us talk about, you know how this goes. I like to start the show off with talking about our real estate goals. For those of you who are new to the show, say hi, say hello, press a 1 down below. Let me give you the instructions. Let me give you the how we do it on the show. Press 1 lets me know you're here. Press 2 lets me know you shared it. If I share anything that's worthwhile and worth a mic drop, you can use the mic drop emoji or, just anything that resonates with you. Sometimes I find that when I get into my chats and I start sharing and speaking, I say some pretty cool things, some pretty wise things. I actually sound wise sometimes. No, I joke, and this is really what the show is about, and this is why I want to commit to doing it, continue to commit to do it. You all know I've got a whole life. I've got a whole business and family and all that fun stuff. This is where I can laugh about the things that I see in real estate and I can share with you. Speaking of laugh about things in real estate, I really just want to yell at some agents and tell them, stop taking pictures of properties with their phone. Like, people are paying you good money, 5 figure, 6 figures, 5 figures and up at minimum. And you are like taking pictures of their most prized assets with your dang cell phone. Stop doing that. Go hire a photographer. Okay, I said it. I got it off my chest. I got it off my chest. It bugs me. It's such a disservice. And you know what? I'm not going to do that on the show. Nope, not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I could, just bugs me. So here's why. As we're talking about quarterly goals, let this be a quarterly goal. Invest in yourself. Invest in your business. If you, whatever business it is, invest in your marketing. Invest in your branding. Hello. You see the hat? Look at the merch. I got a sweater on. I got that. I got the hat. Come on. Boom. Look at this. Look at this. Hello. Got the cup. I mean, it goes on. By the way, honey, I can't find my stickers. Get my stickers. Look at this. Can you see that? Super agent stickers over here. Like, be serious about what you do. Like, take some pride in what you do. The quarterly goals, when we're talking about you want to earn income and you want to scale and you want to grow, take some pride in what it is that you do. Invest in your branding. Come on. Oh, bugs me. It bugs me because I think it's a disservice. You know, this is a business in the industry where there's so many people that get in and they're licensed. They have an opportunity by way of a referral, a friend, or a family member who does not do this for a living, and they're entrusting you to do a wonderful job for them. And you use your phone, use your cell phone, and you take these portrait shots, not landscape. I mean, I've got a $2,000 phone. It does all kinds of fancy things, but one of the first things I let my clients know is, guess what? Lisa's not a professional photographer. We hire professional photographer. We have a team that backs us to support our marketing, because what we attach our name to becomes part of our portfolio and our brand for the next client to see, right? To thumb through, to see online. What have you done? What did you do? Hello. Don't do that to people. It just bugs me. Shame on you brokers who are not training these agents and letting them know that they should be using professional photography to do their marketing. Shame on you. Shame on you for you to not review those photos before they go live on the internet. Okay, I feel better now. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I guess this is what happens when you talk to me after hours. It's 9:40 on a Friday night. Yeah, I'm just, and because I was looking at some listings and I came across a new listing, and it just bugged the crap out of me that folks are not investing in their branding. Bugs me. Bugs me. Stop doing it. So, quarterly goals here. Make sure you invest in yourself, okay? So invest in your branding, invest in your business, all that fun stuff. All right, moving along. What are we talking about today? Buyer real estate fraud. Can you spot a fake? Can you? Can you spot a fake? I wonder, can you spot a fake? Well, we'll be talking about that today and tonight. I'm going to pour myself a drink here. The girl's pouring herself a drink. Guess what? Nope. Wrong. It's Spring Mountain Valley. It's the Mountain Valley water. So good. So good. Okay. This is what we're talking about today. Is about buyer real estate fraud. Before I jump on, we're going to do it classroom style. I've got some pointers and things I want to talk about. We'll make tonight short, sweet, and simple. If you want to vibe with me, cool. If you got some questions, drop them in the chat. If you get to catch me live, I'm answering them live, and as you bring them to me, I will answer those questions. All right. So as we pivot to, let's see, today's episode sponsor is the one and only so far, right? Devenio Estates, our very own boutique firm right here serving all of California. We'll be right back after the sponsor break.
We know how challenging it can be to try and sell a home while also dealing with other financial and legal matters. We're here to help. Devenio Estates is the real estate firm you need to make sure your unique situation is handled as quickly and efficiently as possible. Our team of professionals has a combined experience of over 30 years in real estate, construction, and finance industries. As active professionals in the industry, we know the importance of timelines and pride ourselves in providing superior service without compromising integrity. We use industry software and copyrighted proposals so that our real estate agents submit accurate and complete listing information and buyer offers. Our goal is to exceed your expectations and set Devenio Estates as the go-to real estate firm for excellence in advocacy and superior services for our clients. Contact us today to learn more about our services.
Very cool. Okay. Boom. This is what we're going to be talking about today. Let me do it this way. There we go. I like that better. That's a little bit better here. If you are in a situation, that's what we specialize in. Devenio Estates, broker owner, and we've been helping clients with their unique situations, all kinds, all types, and handled with care and support and advocacy, integrity and transparency, and all while doing the most absolutely excellent job. I can do that shameless plug because I've got the receipts to prove it. Just check us out. We're a Google 5-star company, so that's pretty cool that people are getting to experience what we bring, and we take pride in that. That's why I said, what's going on out here? Gosh, it's bugging me, but it's okay. It's okay. Not everybody. I get it. I get it. My husband says not everybody's super agent. That's fine, but it's all good. Okay. Here we go for the ride. Let's go. We're talking about buyer real estate fraud. Next week, I'm going to cover homeowner fraud. I think I'm going to target discussing the fraud that surrounds distressed homeowners is where I want to go with it. Today, we're going to be talking about buyers and borrowers and the fraud that they commit when they are getting involved in real estate. I got some folks on IG. I just want to shout them out. Dan Howard, the realtor. And I've got, who's that? Looks like Iridana Monet. And if I missed you, thank you for stopping by and sliding through on the IG. Really appreciate you guys. Appreciate you all. So here we are. Let's talk about the application fraud here that's happening. Let me see. I could see that. Okay, I guess I have to do the view that way. I have to change the view on IG. It does something weird. I don't know why it does that. No idea why. Like my little face disappears when it's over there. Let me see if I do this. I'm playing with the tools, guys. Bear with me. I'm playing with the tools. Okay, see, that works. I see something happens. I guess it's the format over there on IG. It's just really interesting. But okay, let's keep it pushing. Application fraud here. So here's what's been interesting is this is fraud. Tonight, we're talking about fraud committed by borrowers in obtaining mortgage financing for home purchases. And this could affect you if you are an agent, if you are a lender, mortgage officer, mortgage broker, mortgage consultant. This could affect you if you are a for sale by owner, meaning you have property and you're looking to work directly with the borrower or buyer. You may have some experience, and that's great. So you may have lots of experience, no experience, some experience. That's great wherever you fall in that. The show is still for you because I want to present and give you some tips to what we see happening in this business. Yep. True, false. True, false. True. What does application fraud look like? This is essentially where a borrower may intentionally supply false information. What are they supplying false information about? Their income or identity in support of that application. In these instances of fraud, it may be related to fraud for housing, part of like a profit scheme. And so it's tough, right? When you get in this business and you're on the sales part of it, you're representing to make the deal go through, and you come across a borrower who is going through a motion of applying and providing information that is not necessarily true. They are misrepresenting. They can also misrepresent their credit, their liabilities, the debt that they have, which is why it's important when lenders get involved, they're running credit scores. But in the instance where we get lots of calls, I know I do by show of hands, we get lots of calls for seller financing. I've got a couple listings out, and I get calls, tons of calls for people wanting to do seller financing. My seller is not having it. Nope, 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 nope. And with seller financing, it'll be difficult to verify, if you do consider it, to really verify if that person's credit, their liabilities, their assets is real, especially with the advent of AI. I think you can now probably ask AI to just, make you some bank statements and make you look like a perfect credit holder. I think it's a lot more easier now to represent fake documents. And it's really important to work with the team that gives you access to running credit, checking credit profiles, and making sure that the people who are applying, right, for the financing are who they say they are. That's the important thing. Let's move on, because I said I wanted to keep it simple. I can kind of go on and on once I get into it. The next one is employment fraud. Believe it or not, yep, a borrower would misrepresent their employment situation to a lender. This was popular, actually. This is kind of what contributed, not kind of. It was a factor that contributed to the housing crisis, is because there was actually there were companies out there set up, and they were purporting to be companies to verify income. So mortgage borrowers would complete their mortgage application and they would list this company. And when they investigated, as they started to crack down on these companies, they found one company actually right here in South LA, I believe it was off Crenshaw. One of these companies had, they basically were representing to be like over 100 companies that people were using. I'm chuckling, but it's not funny, but it just shows you to the extent of how prevalent and how intricate the scheme can become. And basically they were verifying employment and say, yeah, that person works here and they've worked here this long. And also they would then fill out the verification of employment forms. They would sign off on it and average up their hours, say what their pay rate was. They did what was necessary in order to defraud the lender in giving that borrower a loan. That was the thing that was happening during that time. So just heads up in terms of when you're coming across folks and, completing the paperwork, make sure you are checking things out. All right, let's move on to the next one. So we just covered application fraud, employment fraud. The next one here is false identity fraud. This fraud occurs when misappropriated identification credentials are used by an individual otherwise ineligible for a mortgage loan, meaning they're not able to qualify, and they are using they've either stolen someone's identity who has had that happen to them, me right here. Someone wanted to be super agent and go get an apartment in my name many, many, many moons ago. And in fact, they succeeded because I had a whole apartment on my credit. And when I was applying for a credit, or I think I was reviewing my credit profile is what I do, which is why I say to you all the time, make sure you are accessing your free credit report from the only official credit report website, which is annualcreditreport.com. It is federally mandated and approved, and you gain access to all three credit bureaus. That's Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Once a year, you can pull your report, and every year thereafter, you can pull your report. Like I said, like I've shared prior on the show, that some of you are working with your banks and credit unions and different, different institutions that give you access to your credit, and it might be with just one company. So that's great. Like I said, I know with my bank, I've got a couple banks, and they have partnered with TransUnion. One's partnered with Experian. It seems to be popular. But it's important for you to check across all reports with all credit bureaus to make sure the information is accurate, current, and consistent. You'll thank me when you run into a situation and you're like, dang it, Lisa told me I should be checking at least once a year. And you find out that you've got some situation pop up on your credit that now it's going to cost you lots of money to resolve. Don't wait until it's too late. Don't say, I didn't tell you, because I told you. All right. Next one is probably my last one too. Oh no, I got one more. Income and down payment fraud. So this one here is pretty much where the fraud involves providing false income information to qualify for a loan. And they're basically claiming that the down payment, they're basically inflating that they have the money. They really don't have the money. And in fact, they would hide that they're borrowing the money. And that's not, and they're disguising a loan as a down payment. That's not going to work, folks. That's not going to work. How do you get around that? How do you get around that if you don't have the down payments? Well, use down payment grants or down payment assistance. For those of you who are listening and tuning in, and you know someone who's looking to buy, City National Bank is getting ready to wrap up their Ladder Up program. That has been a very popular program, and it essentially has been reparations. Let's call it what it is. They got caught and fined, and so they created a niche product to help Black and Brown communities, or I should say the underserved and underrepresented, in particular Black and Brown communities, because what they had, once they were investigated, it was found out that they had no banks in Black and Brown communities. They had little to no banks. And they also found that they had very, very low numbers in offering loans to Black and Brown people. So City National has done tremendous, right? They paid the fine and they came up with a niche product, a very specialized product called the Ladder Up. And as we're talking about down payment, you don't need to disguise and go borrow money. Use the down payment programs that are available. This one in particular is coming to an end July 21st, 2026. It's $20,000. We really liked it for our borrowers because it was a true grant. You didn't have to pay it back. There was no lien being attached to your house. It wasn't like a silent second or silent loan, as I've discussed on some of the previous shows. And more importantly, what I really, 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 really liked about this loan is that it had no private mortgage insurance. That is such a game changer, because that could significantly affect your purchasing power when you're looking to purchase a property. Not only that, I forgot this huge one. It's a conventional loan product, not an FHA. I have nothing against FHA. You just got to be really informed and educated in terms of making a decision about the loan products that you're choosing to buy property. Nothing against FHA. Like I said, it's just, you need to be informed and educated, okay? This one that CNB had has been really, truthfully, it has been unmatched in the industry thus far. And if you could qualify, it was like the qualifiers is 1 to 4 units within a designated area, pretty much most of California. And your FICO score, minimum FICO score would be 660. And to get a conventional loan, your debt to income ratio needs to be, the cap is 45%. I share that to say there's no need for you to be lying about borrowing money to buy a house. In fact, if you're borrowing the money to buy a house, then you're probably off to a bad start. Okay, so you may think that it's harmless, but essentially it would be fraud if you are doing that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't play those games. You know what they say. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. That's not what we want happening here. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. All right. So that was my last one already. Look at that. I covered 4 already. So let's go back to it. False identity fraud, employment fraud, and application fraud. That was sweet. And income and down payment fraud. Look at that. That's some really good information. Some things that you might think is harmless when you're completing application. Listen, be careful what you put down on paperwork. Be careful what you're writing down, because if you're misrepresenting, guess what? You're committing fraud. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't play. Don't play with this. Don't play with this. All right. This for me has been really fun. I find myself really thirsty tonight, but that's because I worked out. Today's weights day. I lift weights, and then I go back and work out a second time. So I'm feeling pretty good. What about you? Yeah, I agree. Very nice. Very nice. With that being said, you guys, listen, have a fantastic weekend. Thanks for listening to me come on here and rant and vent and get off my chest and things that has been bugging me. Again, if you got a business, if you've got an idea or concept, take some pride in your branding, invest in yourself. And it's totally worth it. Make sure you get those trademarks too, okay? We will see you next week. Same time, same place. Maybe not. I might decide to do something late. But hey, it's okay. The replay is available on your favorite podcast channel, wherever you are, wherever you're tuning in and listening. Have a great weekend. Be safe out there. We'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Ready Set Real Estate Podcast with Lisa Gillett, the LA Super Agent. Please like, subscribe, and share LA